Okay, so up till now we've been dealing with linear equations that are already in slope-intercept form, but that won't always be the case. This is a different form of a linear equation, but I can tell it's a linear equation because there are two variables, they're in separate terms, and each one of them is to the first power. We want the linear equation in this form that we've been practicing so much, y equals mx plus b. And we can accomplish that if we can isolate y on one side of the equation. So when I take this equation that I've been given, this linear equation, in order to isolate y, I need to remove this term. I can remove this variable term by subtracting 2x from this side of the equation. But we know from property of equality I would need to subtract 2x from the other side of the equation to keep the equation balanced. This term would become 0, and I would be left with 3y is equal to 6 minus 2x. Now I'm not going to write 6, I'll write it here so we can see it. If you subtract 2x from 6, you get 6 minus 2x. But remember, 6 minus 2x is the same as 6 plus negative 2x. And I would rather have the variable first, the variable term first. So I'm going to write this as negative 2x plus 6. Which is equivalent to 6 minus 2x, or 6 plus negative 2x. Now we don't want 3y, we want y. We want 1y. And so I need to divide both sides of the equation by 3, but here's where it's going to get a little bit tougher, because we haven't really done this before either. Dividing an entire expression, not just a single term, by 3. So we'll look at that right now. This becomes 1y, which is y. What this is essentially saying, this expression right here, is that we have negative 2x over 3 plus 6 over 3. If we're dividing this side of the equation by 3, both terms need to be divided by 3. If 6 divided by 3 is just 2, and negative 2x divided by 3, you can factor out the x and just think of it as negative 2/3 x. And so that's the familiar form that we're looking for, the form where we have y equals mx plus b. And when we compare the general slope-intercept form to our specific equation, we can see that b equals positive 2. So when we graph this line, we begin at positive 2. That's where the line intersects the y-axis. And we see that m equals negative 2/3. So we remind ourselves that m, the slope, is delta y over delta x, negative 2 over 3. You could do 2 over negative 3 or negative 2 over 3. I'm just going to do negative 2 over 3. So from my beginning point, from the only point I know on this line right now, my delta y is negative 2, so down 2. My delta x is positive 3, so right 3. And there's another point on my line. It actually happens to be the x-intercept. If I draw that line, it will intersect at C.